What's up, guys? Tanner here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Sorry I didn't put out a video for you guys last week. I was super busy last week, but I'm here now. So this will be a retrospective on Daredevil and Ghost Rider. So as always, let's get into it. So in this video, I thought I'll talk about things that I like about both movies, but at the same time, I did want to tackle a few things that I think could have been better about Daredevil. So here we go. So Daredevil, I did not get a chance to see it in theaters when it came out 20 years ago. I saw it probably many months later when it came out on DVD. My dad bought the original DVD right here. I never knew about the director's cut until probably 2017, but I got it later on, and I really enjoyed it better than the theatrical cut. So, well, overall, I liked both Daredevil and Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, I've never had a problem with the movie. Movie to me, the extended cut. To me, the scenes that are in there, to me, they didn't really need to cut the scenes, because I know in the film usually there's always deleted scenes because it makes the film drag. But to me, I really feel like these scenes didn't make the movie drag at all. If anything, they added more depth into the story. So, which came into play later in the movie. And with Daredevil, I really think that the studio didn't want the movie to be too long, which I'm gonna make a little comparison right here, which is somewhat the same thing that Warner Brothers did with Batman v Superman with Zack Snyder. They didn't want the movie to be too long and stuff like that. But also, in doing so, they took a lot of elements out of the story that went in depth with it that they should have kept in the film. And I think Marcus Steven Johnson, who directed both Daredevil and Ghost Rider, I think in a way his fandom is a lot like Zack Snyder's, because he knew these characters inside and out. And it's just really disappointing that Daredevil didn't get the vision that he wanted for it, the full vision. Because the director's cut, it goes a lot more in depth with the story. You get a lot more Matt Murdock being Matt Murdock, using his Daredevil powers, doing a little bit of detective work, basically. I guess that's what you would call it. And the theatrical cut, you get the add-ins and the chopped up fight scene. You get the the love scene, which was added in later. Also, the confessional scenes when he's talking with the priest. Those both scenes in particular, they were added into the film. But the director's cut, they're not in the director's cut. So this one goes a lot more in depth to the film. And I did read an article just for the hell of it. I looked up Daredevil 20 years later to see if anyone was talking about it. And Variety did do an article with Mark Steven Johnson, and he said that his biggest problem with Daredevil is that it was his fandom. He tried to pack too much into the movie. To me, I just think that it's disappointing that when a movie doesn't do so well, a lot of people tend to blame the director, which really and truly, the director is not to blame. Most likely, it is the studio. And in this case, it was the studio. The same with Batman v Superman. They didn't want the movie to be too long because they're on a time constraint. Back there in 2003, they're on a time constraint, but which is the cases for a lot of early Marvel movies, like Punisher, I guess X-Men. What else? Elektra. Even though we don't talk about Elektra, that movie in general was just very rushed. They shouldn't have done it. Should have waited for Daredevil 2, but it is what it is. But getting back to Daredevil, there shouldn't be a time constraint on it, because when you take out important story elements to add depth to the story, it kind of messes the whole movie up. The same thing with Batman v Superman again. For example, the what's it called, the courthouse scene where everyone died and Superman did nothing. In the Ultimate Edition, Lois investigates the wheelchair and find out that there's a bomb in there. It was encased of lead. Everyone knows that Superman can't see through lead, but they didn't put that in the theatrical cut, leaving a bunch of people saying this. Superman did nothing. What the hell? So, you see what I'm getting at? So, but he meant to Daredevil. They shouldn't have put a time constraint on it. To me, movies shouldn't have time constraints. Now, if certain things are dragging in the movie, then yes. But if they add to the story, just don't take them out. Just leave them in the film. And in my mind, I'm thinking, now, how come when it comes to certain movies like Daredevil or any movie in general, it has to be on a time constraint. But when it's Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, they could be like 3.5 hours long. You get what I'm saying? I've seen those movies before, and after watching them, I couldn't even follow the story. If you guys are fans of those movies out there, more power to you. I've only seen them like once, but that's it. But to me, I just don't think that's really fair, because a lot of people hate this movie in general, Daredevil and Ghostfire. But to me, I see it this way, and I see it with anything in life. Don't take things for granted, because back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, comic book fans back in the day, they're lucky to get one comic book movie. When nowadays, since 2000, we've got comic book movies coming out every year. So, but I love the Daredevil movie. I love the director's cut, and to be honest, because it's been told for 20 years, I think that they should make an ultimate cut where they splice the scenes from the director's cut into the theatrical cut and make one ultimate cut. I would love for that to happen. I wish they would have put it back in theaters. Well, if they put it in theaters, the director's cut or the ultimate cut, like I said. And get back to Ghost Rider. Say I had no problem with the Ghost Rider movie whatsoever. The cast is good. Same with Daredevil. Extended edition, I love. Goes more in depth. And overall, I really love what Mark Steven Johnson did with these two movies. And if the opportunity comes for Nicolas Cage to come back as Ghost Rider or Ben Affleck come back as Daredevil in Secret Wars, I would love for that to happen. Because Ben Affleck, Daredevil will be my number one cameo. It's not Tom Maguire's Spider-Man. That's a given right there. It's Ben Affleck's Daredevil. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.